Hello, this is Father Son Galaxy. I am Kerwin, and this is Keith. Spider-Man Brand New Day opened July 31st and has broken records at the box office. So far, the film has earned almost $1.7 billion worldwide and is receiving critical acclaim for its direction, writing, action, and performances. One scene in particular has gone viral on social media. It's the moment when a bystander just walks along a city street who seems concerned about Spidey's well-being, then begins an intense conversation with the bystander revealing Spider-Man's true identity. The moment lasts only a few minutes, but it's unforgettable, and moviegoers are raving about the performance of our guest, Niyi Akin. In addition to acting, he is also a director and a singer-songwriter. Niyi, welcome to Father Son Galaxy.
Hello. Glad
Hello.
to be here.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
This is a true honor. Congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
I know the movie's only been out for 2 weeks, and I know your life has probably changed very quickly.
Definitely.
Yeah. How are you managing the change?
I think kind of just taking every day as it comes. I think Spider-Man was a great opportunity, but I believe that every day is an opportunity. So I'm just taking every day as it comes, what can I do today? And that's kind of just how I manage with it.
Why did you want to become an actor, and where did you go to study that craft?
I wanted to become an actor because I would watch the same movie about 40 times. So I'd watch different movies 40 times in a row. To the point where my parents were actually quite worried. My mom kind of used to let me, but my dad would be like, okay, this is great, but maybe we should let him play some sports and all that kind of stuff. So I just would sit at the TV and just watch it till I was completely blue in the face. And I remember watching my brother act in a school play. And I was like, the bug hadn't bit me yet, but it was kind of just meandering around. And then my mum signed me up for this LAMDA class where it's 1-to-1. And that is when the bug completely bit me. And I was like, I am never going to look back. This is absolutely what I want to do. Then I went to a school called the BRIT School. And then that was a drama college / drama school for people who were in sixth form. So 16 to 18. And then after that, I got into LAMDA, which only 30 people get in out of 4,000. So it was really rigorous to get in. And I graduated in 2021, and I've just been since then just working every year. It's been pretty good so far.
Yeah. Curious, what were some of the movies that you like watching over and over?
So I really enjoyed watching Lion King. And my mum also took me to the theatre to see Sister Act. And then I watched the movie 40 times. Well, and yeah, a lot of things like Pursuit of Happiness. I just couldn't stop watching films like that. Couldn't stop watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as well. It's just that. It just felt so original storytelling. It's just, my bread and butter for me. So, yeah.
Could you tell us about some of your earlier roles before Brand New Day?
Yes. So the first role I got was Get Even, a Rebel Cheer Squad on Netflix, which was really, really good for me because I was kind of told that I was going to just be doing theatre at drama school. Not as an insult or anything, but that's just what I was more suited to. But I'm quite a rebellious person, so I just decided just to go for the screen. And that was good because we shot it over 2 to 3 months, and I kind of got over my fears. And then after that, I went on to do The Diplomat on Alibi and BBC, which was an amazing experience because I think Get Even a Rebel Cheer Squad was a CBBC show, so it was a kids show. So it was an amazing experience, but there was a line to how far you could take the story in terms of, some dark things happening, whereas The Diplomat was an investigation about the murder of my character. It's not really a spoiler. You kind of find that out within the first kind of 30 minutes. So no spoiler. I won't get in trouble for that.
No problem. No problem.
But that was when I got to actually really delve into a character. And then my first movie was After Everything, which was a really good experience because I think with TV, you have to adhere to the script quite a bit. And everything's going quite fast. But with film, you get to do a bit of improv, and so there was a bit more freedom on that scale. That's kind of what taught me the difference between the two. And then was Borders, which was like a full-on high school drama, whereas really kind of taking it there with my acting, and that was about 5 students that were from a working class background but were on a scholarship to a private school, which I know that which has never really been told about Black people a lot, like going to a private school on a scholarship. How do they navigate that? And that was really interesting. I mean, you have to watch it to see, but yeah, people found my character quite interesting because my character wasn't from a working class background. He was already in the school and was very rich. So they found my character quite interesting. So yeah.
Now, Borders, is that available on Netflix? Is that where we can see it?
Borders is available on BBC and Tubi for Americans.
Okay, Tubi. Got it. Okay.
Now, are there any roles or characters that have stuck out to you that you'd like to play in the future?
I like Kang. I do like Kang. And I also do like Miles Morales. But yeah, I'm quite an open book. Don't really mind. Yeah, I don't really mind. And I'd love to work with Ryan Coogler, and I'd love to work with Christopher Nolan, or Michael B. Jordan as well. I just really like them all as like different form of filmmakers and what they do, what they bring to the table.
Yeah. Well, this is amazing. I was looking through your Instagram and I saw a picture of you as a little boy. You were holding up Spider-Man action figure. And I believe you mentioned that one of your dreams was to be in a Spider-Man movie or maybe be Spider-Man. What is it about that character that resonates with you?
Yeah, I think it's a character that kind of resonates with us all. It's kind of like there's a Spider-Man in us all. There's something that is special about every one of us from the moment that we are born. And it feels like it's a big secret that we have this thing that we don't really flaunt it about, that where we have this thing that's special about us, whether it's a talent, something. And I think what I love about Spider-Man is that the fact that even though he is powerful, he's still human. Like he's, for me, one of the most human superheroes, that he still needs people to be strong. I think you can't do this thing that we call life on your own. You need people, and that's what's so like amazing about Spider-Man. And also his powers, his powers, like I think what my mom was actually telling me that the first thing I'd do is I'd wake up and have the Spider-Man toy in my hand. And then afterwards she'd get me a new Spider-Man toy. It'd be like, I think back in the day, we used to have this thing where it was like a Spider-Man hand and you'd be able to shoot out webs from the hand.
I have one of those.
And yes, and I used to just wake up and just spray it all around the house.
Yeah.
And my dad would be like, okay, this is great, but not too much, like my cushion.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just every single kind of Spider-Man toy you kind of I just would play with, to be honest. And it's just such an original thing. The crawling on the wall, it's it's such an original idea. They actually said, I think, that they didn't really originally. I think Stan Lee was saying it, that they thought it was such a whack idea, the Spider-Man, because he was working class from New York, and maybe that might depress teenagers. But it's just real. Like, everybody feels like you kind of see Peter Parker kind of having his highs as Spider-Man, doing amazing things, but then also being a bit beaten up by life. And everybody feels like that. Everybody feels beaten up by life. So yeah, that's why I love Spider-Man. It's relatable.
Yeah, absolutely. No matter where you're from, you've gone through your ups and downs, and no one has gone through the highs and lows as much as Peter Parker. Like he's resilient. He just keeps coming back, and I think that's the
beauty of his character.
Yeah, that's the beauty of his character. That's what we need to learn, is that when you're down, it doesn't matter. You get yourself back up, which is wonderful. How were you introduced to Spider-Man? Did you what was your first Spider-Man film or cartoon that you watched?
Or even comic
book that you read? Yeah.
I was introduced to the Spider-Man cartoons first. There's two that I particularly used to watch religiously. It's like I think the first cartoons that were made that a lot of people have seen. I don't know what to call it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like Spectacular Spider-Man?
Yeah. I've watched Spectacular Spider-Man. I'm not that one. It's the other one. It's like the oldest one.
Ooh. I can't remember. So I know there was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I don't know if it was that far back.
I think it might have just been Spider-Man.
Yeah, there's so many variations of Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was called Spider-Man. It was on at the time. It was on like Cartoon Network. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but that was the oldest. And then afterwards, I also really enjoyed. That was when in that particular cartoon, it was It was all about Mary Jane. But then I really also enjoyed the one where it was about, I think the Triangle of Three. That was Spectacular Spider-Man. That was Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, and one other person. Was it Liz? She's a bit darker skinned. Can't remember her name.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, think so. But yes, so I really enjoyed Spectacular Spider-Man as well. And I just that kind of led me to the Tobey Maguire films, and then the Andrew Garfield films, and then the Tom Holland films. And to be honest, I have watched every single one of them at least 15 times minimum. Sometimes I've said it. I think I've said it before. I'd have it on like whilst I'm doing like whilst I'm hoovering or I'm cooking something. Yeah, I'm crazy.
So you're like a huge fan, huh?
Yeah. Proper.
Walk us through the audition process, and how did you eventually get the role of David?
So it started off with my agent sent me an audition, and she said to me, it's either Avengers or Spider-Man, but I don't know what it is. So take a look at the script and just work with that. And to be honest, they had dummy sides because, as you know, the Spider-Man fans, the Marvel fans are the best people and the craziest. So they will find out what is going on. So they had dummy sides. I can't talk too much about the dummy sides, but I kind of was looking at the script and it just had the DNA of a Spider-Man movie. And I looked at my mom and I was like, this is for Spider-Man. And I was really excited, but at the same time, really nervous, because normally I like go to a lot of my actor friends that kind of help me with learning lines and unfleshing the character. But to be honest, they work quite a lot just like me. So they were actually really busy doing theatre jobs and series and movies. So I didn't have anyone really but my mom. So I drove her crazy, learning the lines and just trying to get into the character for myself, and what the scene meant. And when I got to the first round of the audition process, it just felt really good, like incredibly good. In fact, I actually said to my agent, I don't know if I could have done this any better. And she was like, well, that's good, but you just never really know these things. And then the second round, we had a chemistry test. Again, without revealing plot points, I can't speak too much about that. But the test again was just a lot of repetition, and a lot of trying different ways of playing the scene. And then, yes, we decided, no, not we decided. I just get a random call from my agent. How you doing? I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then she was like, so, and I was like, what? Why are you leaving it so long? What's going on? She was like, you're going to be in Spiderman. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. Like, I couldn't believe it. So,
Wow.
and here we were. I was just on it was literally, I think a week afterwards, I was doing, all sorts of stunts that you've seen on my Instagram that was to do with the film. To do with the film. So yeah.
Yeah. So when you signed on to play the character, did they give you a last name or sort of backstory to help you figure out what you were going for?
No, actually. There was no name. It was originally young adult, actually. But Destin was like, like, I really like the way that you're doing the scene. And we feel like you should have a character name for this. So that's actually how it happened.
Yeah, let me know if I'm getting too deep or
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking questions that you can't answer. But
Mm-hmm.
so when you got the script and well, was it the full script? I guess is the first question. Or do you get just parts of the script?
Oh, we
when
get
you're
parts of the
auditioning?
script. There, we do
Parts of the
not have we have the full script. That
yeah,
would be
yeah,
a problem.
yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
did they say to you, the filmmakers or your agent said, well, this is the role that I want you to audition for, and it
Yeah.
was just this random person, didn't have a name at the time, and you read for it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you nailed it. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Okay,
Mm.
wow. Okay.
So to that point, you're playing a New Yorker with an American accent.
Yeah.
Did you learn the dialect for the movie, or did you have some training prior to filming?
Yeah, so actually we in at drama school we have this thing called an accent exam. And it's just a thing that classically trained like drama schools do, and you pick 4 accents that you want to do. And I picked the Manchester accent, the Jamaican accent, the Kenyan accent, and the New York accent. That's what I picked. So it was kind of already when it was time. I was like, I've been doing this since like I graduated in like 2021. So I've been doing this for like five years. I know how to do a New York accent. So it fell in my lap quite nicely, to be honest.
So when you're in acting school, they recommend that you take on different dialects.
Yeah, because they look
Yeah.
at you and they're like, okay, so you are probably gonna be sent auditions for these type of um like roles where you might be doing this accent. That's what they do a lot of the time. But like there were some accents I was like, I don't really want to do because I already knew how to do them, like Nigerian accent. My parents are Nigerian, so I was like, I don't really want to go into the deep depths of a Nigerian accent because I can do it. But New York accent, I was like, you know what, I want to go into the deep depths of a New Yorker because like right now I think I can do a standard American accent, but I've never really gone into the depths of like what it means to be a New Yorker, to walk like a New Yorker, to have the energy of a New Yorker. So yeah, that's what they kind of teach you, like the rhythm of a New Yorker, because they speak in a different rhythm, which is very different to how a Londoner would be. So
Yeah.
Well, can I tell you, I actually grew up in Brooklyn, New York. So,
wow.
and my wife is from the Bronx.
Oh wow.
So we were familiar with, yeah,
This is a bit of a setup.
yeah, no, we were familiar with the accent, and obviously you got the role, and it's being talked about. So, what is it about this character that is getting social media so excited about talking about it? Because something is different when you come on the screen, and you say just a simple line. Your first line, if you wouldn't mind saying it, but your first line was such a simple line, but the way you delivered it,
It's memorable.
yeah. And then, so let's just talk about the first line. Can you tell us what the first line was?
The first line was, "Yo, Spider-Man, you okay?" That's what the first line was.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And it's not just the first line, obviously. I mean, you had how much of screen time do you think you had?
It was, I think, it was like 2 minutes. I think it
2
was
minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah.
So you really had a full dialogue conversation with Spider-Man the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's, of course there are other characters that have that interaction with Spider-Man, but something about you just being this bystander, just coming up to Spider-Man. And I know the movie's been out for 2 weeks, so, a little bit of spoilers.
Light spoilers.
Yeah, you were trying to get inside Spidey's head. But when you read for the part, did they explain to you that it's actually not you speaking for yourself, but someone else is actually taken over and possessed you, and the words that are coming out of your mouth is actually somebody else's? Did they go that far into explaining that?
That I can't answer.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
I can't answer.
All right, got it.
But what I will say is I had no idea that I was going to be in the trailer, because a lot of people were kind of speculating that I was a particular character. So I had no idea I was going to be in the trailer. My cousin actually was at work. He's got nothing to do with acting. He just texted me like, "Bro, you're in the latest trailer for Spider-Man." And I was like, "What is going on?" Like, and I was actually a little bit afraid, because I was like, "Oh God, everybody knows now. But what happens if I get cut?" Like, that was what was going through my mind, because it's such a huge film. And not to say that, it was an absolute dream working on Marvel. They make everybody, down to supporting artists, they make everybody feel important. But sometimes, for the sake of the story, it might not make sense to have my bit within the story. So, I'm just grateful to the Most High, to be honest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. And then, were any of your scenes cut from the film, or is everything that's on the screen is all you record? Yeah.
Yeah, no, literally everything. Everything. So I was like, wow, like they kept everything in. And I have, personally seen, I don't know if you know the film Ready Player One.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Steven Spielberg. Yes.
So I've had friends that have worked on, Ready Player One, had a bigger profile than me, and they worked in the trailer as well, worked on it a lot longer than I did on Spider-Man, and they didn't make the cut. So it is literally a miracle that you've seen me in that film.
Yeah. So, how was your experience working with Tom Holland and Destin Daniel Cretton?
Honestly, it was an amazing experience. I think they have such a lovely partnership on set, and I think because there's no hierarchy on set with the way that they behave, everybody is it's like a big football team. and we are just trying to we all care about this thing, which is Spider-Man, and we're just trying to make it happen. My favorite part of working on Spider-Man was definitely talking to Tom Holland about the Odyssey and how his experience was in terms of that, and how it's like the hardest thing he's ever had to do. And, you know, I think just kind of seeing that he's just, you know, really human kind of also made me think like, okay, like I can really get through this day, because, you know, Marvel set is very, very, very fast. And to be honest, when I met Destin, he was kind of, first thing he said was like, I was really impressed with your audition. I didn't even know you were British. So he was like, you know, just go out here and just have fun. And obviously seeing the fact that Tom Holland was able to just be kind of open and honest about the serious challenges that he faced in the Odyssey as an actor made me feel like it's just, this thing that we do called acting, this thing that we do called storytelling. You can't ever feel like, you know, you're on top of the mountain. There always going to be bigger mountains to climb. And definitely my mountain was being on Spider-Man, which obviously they might have both been used to because they've been working on movies for a long time. But me, this is the biggest set I've been on. I've never have had that amount of people, you know, watch me whilst I'm doing a scene. So yeah, it was, because of their relatability, I think I was able to really do my best.
And once the film premiered, who was one of the first people to come up to you to say, you really did a great job? Did anyone of the public who came up and said, you know, saw you, you know, walking the red carpet, as you know, after the movie, came up to you and just shook your hand or gave you a hug and said you were fantastic?
Yeah, actually, Tom's younger brother, Harry Holland, we actually were in the same year at BRIT School together, because me and Tom went BRIT School together. But he was like 3 years or 4 years above me, so we never actually crossed paths. But his brother was actually, who's a director, was in my year, and we did cross paths quite a bit. Went to the same parties, all that kind of stuff. So he was actually one of the first people to go, wow, that was something, which was really nice. And even on set, to be honest, I just didn't really pay any attention to it. But Destin, after my scene, was like, yo, everybody was coming up to me saying, who is that? Who is that kid? And I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know. You guys just guessed me. I feel like I was just like, oh, just kind of locked in to like the whole, I just got to do my best job. But, you know, it feels like it paid off because people were saying that on set as well. So yeah, just ecstatic really with the turnout.
Yeah. And I know it's only been 2 weeks, but are you being recognized when you walk down the street now? Has anyone
I'm
recognized
sure you had
you?
to invest in
Or has anybody come up to you and say, yo, Spider-Man?
Yeah. There
Yeah.
are a lot of people doing that. I was taking a cab from my friend's house to the station, and I literally just opened the door straight away. Someone was like, "What? No, you, Spider-Man?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I am." And he was like, "Can we get a picture?" Like, yeah, that is definitely happening a lot, and I think it's really, which I find kind of touching, kind of like people are just really hopeful because it was, you know, such a small scene, and just by such a small scene, because it's made that much coverage, I think a lot of people want to take a picture of me because they're just hopeful of like maybe any dream that they might have. I think any little thing that you do is just as important as anything. So I want to say that there's no small roles, only small actors. Even going bigger than that, there's no small opportunities, only lack of faith, you know? So that I think that's what has really spoken to people, because that's the type of things that people have said, like, with that small thing, you've done this. Like, I hope that I continue to just do what I'm doing. And they're not even actors. So I feel that I think that's been the biggest highlight for me personally.
Yeah. I know you have a production company. I want to talk a little bit about that and just hear the story behind the name Ignorance Prevails.
Absolutely. Well, knowledge is power, but I feel that as you grow older, not all the time, but as you grow older with experience, it's a blessing to get older first and foremost. But as you grow older with experience, you get more knowledge. And sometimes this knowledge that you acquire, you can start building walls of doubt as, for example, I can't do this because this is in my way. And I can't do this because this obstacle of life is in my way. But the child always prevails, they're just going to go for it. They're not going to ask any questions. They're not going to say, "Oh, I can't do this." They're just if they want something, they will go and get it. So that's why we say ignorance prevails.
Very profound.
Yeah, I like that. And I know you've directed a film.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, working with Destin Daniel Cretton, did you learn anything as far as directing from him?
Absolutely. I think it was his very chilled out demeanor whilst the storm of the set is just going crazy because everyone's moving incredibly fast. And when I was directing my first short film, I was highly stressed because I just wanted to get everything right and all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of similar of what I kind of spoke about with Tom, which what he said to me was, because I said, "Have you got any advice?" And he was like, just don't be afraid to get things wrong. And I feel that Destin definitely carries that in him in terms of like, okay, this isn't working out, but we can always go this way and it's going to be fine. Like, I think from doing that, that's also just I've taken that into like every bit of my storytelling as an actor, as a filmmaker, as a musician, that things are going to go wrong, but it's kind of like, it's okay. Because Tom Holland was the person that said it, okay, don't be afraid for things to go wrong. But like, I feel like I actually saw the full on action of that with how Destin is. And he's not like a high strung director. He's just kind of like, we're on a journey and we're going to get to the destination. So, yeah.
Can you tell us a little about your short film, Evil, and where people can see it? Yeah.
Yes. Evil is on YouTube. It is spelt EVOL. It is basically about a young musician called Elijah who is living in his car with his girlfriend in hopes to one day move to Atlanta to basically make some sort of breakthrough in his career. And I think that speaks to a lot of people in London. And I think it just speaks to a lot of people in life that, the way that the world is kind of set up, it kind of feels like, I just need a break. I'm trying to get somewhere. I'm working so hard and I need that break. Maybe if I move somewhere else, it could work in my favor. But you got to watch the film to find out if it works in his favor. So, yeah.
And it's available on YouTube. Is it available anywhere else?
It's available on YouTube, Vimeo, and Shortverse as well.
Nice. So, amongst being a director and an actor, you're also a singer. Could you tell us a little bit about that side of your career?
Yeah. So, I think I've been making music for a long time now, and I think definitely the highlights of my career is working with Blairy Hendricks, which is a producer who produced for the likes of people like Jay Huss, and opening up for Burna Boy at the Wembley SEC Arena, and going on a tour with Adekunle Gold. music definitely was like my first kind of love that I put action on. So like when I was 9, I would like be singing to like Michael Jackson. I'd be doing all of it, singing to Michael Bublé, singing to Stevie Wonder, Neo. It's just Chris Brown. Yeah, honestly, I just was kind of stuck into music. I'm kind of, the way I would just describe myself is I'm a storyteller. I'm an artist. So I've always not allowed really people to kind of label me as a particular type of thing. I just love telling stories, and some take priority. Sometimes my films take priority. Sometimes acting takes priority, and sometimes music takes priority. But everything about storytelling, I love it.
That's wonderful. Did you have any other questions? I have one final question for you. And I don't know if you can answer it.
Oh boy.
So here you are. Here's this $1 billion movie that you're in.
Almost two.
Yeah. What's next for you? Are you getting scripts now? Are you reading scripts? Can you tell us what's going to happen next?
What's next is I can say what's next on the acting and filmmaking front. I'll start off with filmmaking. What's next is I have another short film I've directed and a feature film that I'm going to be starring in. I'm the executive producer of, which is really exciting and will be coming out at some point next year.
Okay, we'll look out for it.
And that's kind of a filmmaking and acting front. But on a just acting front, I'm working on a really exciting game, but I can't say where it's from. I'm under NDA for that, but I can say I'm working on a game because my voice agent said I can say that. But yeah, I can't say what it's from, because if I say what it's from, then but you will. I can say that the characters in the game, you do know. You definitely 100% know. But
okay.
Yeah, that's all.
I'll keep that one.
But this is like, I think gaming definitely is. Oh my God, it's animation. I'm a huge fan of anime. If you can see my shirt, Jujutsu
there you
Kaisen.
go. Nice.
Wow.
So I'm a huge fan of anime, and I've always wanted to work in animation, and this is like my first step into that world through this game. And when we're in the studio, it is like the freedom of it is incredible. You get to literally write the script with the people that are making this game. As in, I'll be acting and I'll be improving, and they'll be like, actually, I think you didn't say what was on the script, but that just sounds better, so we're just going to put it in. Alongside a Japanese actor he's doing the subbed, I'm doing the dubbed, and it's just, it's so exciting. So exciting.
One more thing, you're a JJK fan.
I am.
Me too. Nice. That's it.
Anything you want to say about it?
It's a good show.
Okay. All right.
My favorite character is... I should know his name, but the person that possesses him is Rika. Do you know that? Person?
I'll be honest with you, I'm on season 1.
How many seasons are there?
Like 3.
Oh, 3. Okay, so you're ahead of him.
Well, I'm on season 3, but you'll see him. He comes at the end of season 3, and Gojo was my favorite character before, but now he's definitely my favorite character.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the show. You want to just tell me a little about what it's about?
Yeah. So this guy, right? He's like a school kid or whatever. He eats these like cursed fingers, right? And he gets possessed by a cursed spirit.
Yeah.
And then he kind of goes to this like school for magic. They call it JJ, like Jujutsu High. So they're kind of hunting cursed spirits and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with different like techniques.
Okay. Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Netflix
Crunchyroll as well.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
I think season 4 is on the horizon.
Yeah,
Okay.
season 4's on the horizon. What's your favorite anime, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm torn between One Piece and JJK.
Oh my days. Okay, One Piece. That's definitely one of my top favorites. I don't know who my favorite character is in One Piece. I think Sabo might be.
I'll go with Sanji.
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 Okay.
I don't know. I feel like, I love Sanji, but I feel like I don't know. Don't you? For me, I just feel so excited to see more of Sabo because obviously he was, Luffy didn't think he was alive, but obviously now he is alive and now he's inherited Ace's power and, he's incredibly strong and he's under Luffy's father, who's the king of the revolutionary army, the chief commander. So it's just like, I'm really looking forward to him having like a huge fight with maybe one of Blackbeard's pirates or something like that. And it was just, I think it was a beautiful moment as well because obviously Luffy lost Ace and he's thinking, okay, so now I have no brothers. And then he kind of had to heal from that and kind of, accept that. And then suddenly Sabo comes in the mix. And Sabo is definitely my favorite.
Yeah. I gotta catch up on the show.
You've got to. But there's, we could talk about that for forever.
Yeah. So what are like some of your favorite like musical artists that you listen to?
My favorite musical artist, I liked definitely Michael Jackson, definitely Neo, definitely. I love to listen to Wizkid as well. I like to also listen to J Hus, Skepta, Young Thug. There was a time where he sounded like an instrument when he used to sing like Lifestyle. That's just like that is such a timeless record. Definitely 50 Cent. Whenever I'm like, I don't know, whenever I'm like I listen to Get Rich or Die Trying, whenever I'm like, I want a big change in my life right now.
That's a classic.
That's the vibe, man. That's the vibe.
Yeah, you like a big fan of Central C by any chance?
I do like Central C. I do really like Central C. I think he's very, very talented.
Yeah, Keith is a big fan of K-pop. I don't know if that's anything that you're into.
I don't mind K-pop. I kind of listen to all sorts of music, but I just obviously I have my favorites. I like Travis Scott as well. I feel like he's kind of like hip hop cinema. So I love Hans Zimmer. I don't know. Do you know Hans Zimmer?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I love Hans Zimmer. I went to see him live, and I felt I genuinely felt like my soul was being cleansed by his music.
Oh my gosh. We've always been talking about going to see Hans Zimmer. I mean, I think he had a HBO live concert, and it's amazing. It's like all these lights, musicians on the floor, and the drums and it's unbelievable. Yeah, I would love to see the concert.
And Ludwig Göransson. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name.
Yeah,
we know him. He's great.
He's like the next generation for me in terms of just like I was like, because as Hans Zimmer gets older and older, I'm like, oh gosh, who do we have next? And then you just get Ludwig Göransson, and the soundtrack from Sinners just so timeless, so beautiful. I was just like, gosh, like how do you even think of this when you make this music? I think that's what really inspires me. Like, how do you even think of this when you're making it? And obviously, I can't go without mentioning Metro Boomin. Like, I love the soundtrack that he made. Obviously, first of all, I love Heroes and Villains. That's so amazing. But then I also love the Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack that he made as well. It's just like
Rejoice.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
So like I was just like, this guy just, you know, kind of it was like his music was like a picture that had just been beautifully painted. So yeah.
Yeah. You know, we actually met Ludwig when we were doing the Mando and Grogu press circuit.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. This was back in May. We were in Los Angeles. We were invited
to see the set.
Yeah.
And we had the opportunity.
Goodness.
Yeah. And Ludwig was one of the celebrities that were there. Yeah. Yeah. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was it like meeting him?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I had to not act like I was, a fan.
To be honest, you did well. I would not have been able to compose myself. I'd be like, you have made my life better. That's what I would have said.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly how you feel. I grew up buying soundtracks. I still do. I mean, I'm a big John Williams fan, from back the late 70s, so but Ludwig, absolutely. And I heard his score for Odyssey is actually awesome too. I have not seen the movie.
Very good. Have you not seen Odyssey yet?
I have not seen Odyssey yet. No, not yet.
Gotta catch that.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And Anne Hathaway for me, not that it's a competition or anything, but my favorite is definitely Anne Hathaway in the Odyssey. I just think it's just like you just Penelope, like this is crazy.
Are you familiar with Stray Kids by any chance?
Stray Kids. I'm really bad with names. Stray Kids.
Yeah, they're like a K-pop group.
Yeah, well, Niyi said, K-pop is really,
I don't listen to that. Now the dots are connecting, but I don't really listen to K-pop heavy like that. So
yeah, you should listen to them though. They're pretty good.
No, I'm now that we've spoken, I'm definitely gonna check it out. 110%.
I'm learning it. I'm learning it myself. I'm He loves it, and he'll show me a Stray Kids video every once in a while, and it's like, okay, they're pretty good. I mean, they're well dressed. They choreograph very well, and their music is awesome. So
that being said,
yeah, definitely.
So, Niyi, you are a rising star.
Thank you.
And I wish all the best for you. I am absolutely going to look out to see what happens next for you. But I think this role is going to do wonders for your career.
You're going to go places.
Yeah. And, again, when I reached out to you to set up this interview, I wasn't sure if I was ever going to, have this conversation with you, because I know that there are probably so many people right now who want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Why would you want to talk to us? I don't know.
Well, I think it's testament to you, because my agent was like, I've just checked out this page and it just feels so real. I think there's a lot of things that are going on social media where there's just loads of, people, and a lot of it can be quite performative, but she was just like, this is real and I need you to check it out. And as soon as I checked out, I remember just showing my mom, like, this is just organic and beautiful, like a father and son. Like, I was like, I wish I could do this with my dad. I was like, I have to be on the show.
Yeah.
It's just as much of an honor to me as it is to you guys. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. You're always welcome here anytime.
Yeah. No matter how big you get, don't forget about us.
No. This is now, after meeting you especially, this is now like, I hope to do this interview regularly. Definitely.
Yeah. This is truly an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you wanted people to find your Instagram page or learn more about your music, where should they go?
Where should they go? If they want to if they want to find out my page is Luwani Story. That is LUWANI Story. And if you want to check out my music, it is just Luwani. Yeah. And then my production company to know what kind of films I'm going to be making next and starring in, that is Ignorance Prevails on Instagram and TikTok.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Would you like to tell everyone where they can find us?
Sure. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Fatherson Galaxy. Our website is fathersongalaxy.com. We have a merch store, fathersongalaxy.myspreadshop.com. Yeah, Patreon. We have a Patreon page, patreon.com/fathersongalaxy.
We're on all the streaming platforms. Yeah, at Father Son Galaxy. We're pretty easy to find. Yeah. So once again, Niyi, thank you so much. This is truly an honor.
I think this is one of our greatest interviews.
All the best to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Take care. And
we can't wait to see what's next for you.
Thank you so much. And say take care to Tanya as well.
Yes, we will. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching or listening to this episode. Yeah. Thank you so much. Until next time, take care.
Bye.
And we will see you again.